115, the first book. Now I'm doing a second one. 11 years of litigation, over 200 court appearances. This is a real story, and I mentioned the point about the castle. The castle is actually fictitious. So when people are now reading our book and saying this is the best legal story since the castle, I'd actually say it's probably better because it's actually a real story. But it was a lot of heartache. You're all business people, and I'm sure a lot of you probably sit on different, clubs, community groups, maybe even non-for-profit organisations, associations, which typically are limited by guarantee. Well, Alan Manley and I, who wrote the book, Alan and I were directors of a non-for-profit organisation, industry association, limited by guarantee. But that didn't stop Elliot Leary suing Alan and I for $250,000, and we had to defend that. So when I talk about over 200 court appearances in all jurisdictions, local court, district court, Supreme Court, Court of Appeal, Federal Court, and we went to the High Court and defended ourselves in the High Court successfully as well. And in fact, one of the later chapters in the book is us celebrating at Drummoyne Sailing Club. So one of the chapters is called Drummoyne Sailing Club. Anyway, at the end of the day, there are three names on the cover. It's Alan Manley, Julian and Graham Brosnan. Graham is actually a ghost writer, so a successful writer who actually helped us write the book. Having said that, it's been relatively easy writing the first book, but I've learned an awful lot from that which I can take on board in the book I'm currently writing. Jason is recording this, and we've got a website which we're going to put this up on as well. It's 115 the numbers, 115thebook.com.au, and there's a link on there as well to Facebook with all the comments from different people that have reviewed the book. And I notice people, obviously there's been a lot of interest in potentially a movie. So there is an opportunity, so I'd be keen to talk to you about that. On the basis that people are saying that this would actually be a very good movie and would be very, very interesting.
Who would you like to play you? George Clooney?
That's why he was out here. I don't know. Anyway, the book, there's many highs and lows in the book, probably many more lows than highs. The high is the fact that we actually weathered the storm over the years. And I think, why do we write a book like this? Well, at the end of the day, it's been closure for us. It really has been, so actually documented. But there's underlying issues in the court system that we've highlighted. Elliot Leary himself is a litigant in person. And the whole point is that the legal system is open for business. And we've got a comment on the cover which actually says when there are too many lawyers. There's a lot of people just representing people and charging a fortune. We went to one call over where there would have been at least 60 in the list. And it was standing room only in the courtroom. And 60 represented by two parties. So 120 people there, solicitors or barristers, just waiting in the list. And no doubt they were charging $500 a day for the half load over there. Just the actual dollars was flipping over all the time. It just amazed us as we went to many times in the system. So we've actually highlighted a lot of those things in the book. Determination to actually keep going. Alan and I passed the baton many times. We just needed a bit of a break. It's quite interesting though, the amount of time and effort that went into all of this is a major distraction from a business point of view. We've estimated, for example, that overall we probably spent 10 hours a week over the 11 years. It might be during the week or at weekends, whatever. If you actually work that out, that's actually 5 years of effort. Alright, 5 years of effort that actually went into this. Then there's the weekends. We reckon that he stole probably 100 weekends from us, because often that was the only time that we could actually address the latest submission or put a response in. Melbourne Cup, we missed out on 2 Melbourne Cups consecutively on the trot. Excuse me, So at the end of the day, I remember in court, the judges trying to wind up because everyone wants to go and enjoy the Melbourne Cup. But no, he keeps going. But we missed out twice on the Melbourne Cup as a result of that. Why is it called 115, people ask? Chapter 1 is me fronting up into North Sydney police station with what I think is a fraudulent invoice that this guy's given us to claim expenses off the association. it actually proved to be true. But when I fronted up into North Sydney Police Station, the young constable behind the desk was basically sort of saying, we don't have enough time, we've got better things to do than, $115 for photocopying. Do you reckon it's a fraud? Nah, don't waste my time. And I insisted. So he actually put it in the day book. There's a big book on the front, on the cover, and then on the counter. He said, your name, Julian Day, other gentleman's name, Elliot Lurie. He said, say that name again? Elliot Lurie. He said, wait here. So he went out the back, down came a detective, I'm taken upstairs, closed doors with the chief superintendent. Mr. Day, cup of tea, biscuits, Mr. Day. They'd had a run-in with them as well. They were very happy that I walked in that day. And in fact, I could have gone to Drummoyne. Drummoyne Police Station was still open at the time of Victoria Road. I actually was in North Sydney at the time. If I'd gone into Drummoyne, it wouldn't have had the same effect. But North Sydney, they knew him. And the result was that they prosecuted. I was a chief witness. And as a result, he got solved guilty for fraud. I guess a couple of other things. Just one or two little funny things in the book. People actually read it and saying they're actually laughing out loud about some of the things in the book. One of them was from the North Sydney court. We'd served a bankruptcy notice on this gentleman, and it was under duress, and he'd actually got into Alan and punched him up. So he'd actually assaulted Alan. So here we are in North Sydney court, and Alan's in the witness box, and Blur is actually at the bar table doing a cross-examination. And I've already given my evidence, and I'm saying to Alan, because when we arrived at court that day, Lurie wants to serve yet another document on us, but the rules are you can't actually serve a document in the court surrounds. You can't do it in court. And therefore I'm saying to Alan at the end, I'm indicating to him, the magistrate's just like, I've got our bags, let's get out of here, let's get out of here. So it's the fastest exit you'd actually seen anybody leave court. And Lurie actually worked out what we're doing. He's got his documents all spread around. He sees Alan go, and he picks all his stuff up and stuffing it into his briefcase, and he actually runs out here. The three of us, we all run out of the court. North Sydney Court is right next to the post office on Pacific Highway, and we dodged the traffic across into North Point. Got over there, went down the escalator out onto Miller Street, jumped in the first taxi, and the taxi driver says, "Where do you want to go, fellas?" We said, "We don't care, just get us out of here." But it's a real shame that life would become like that at the end of the day. Anyway, it's one of the many stories. Anyway, I commend the book to you. Where does Lurie, where's Lurie now? We haven't heard of him since 2008. We were actually keen to know if he was around when we launched the book back in August, because he would have probably tried to get an injunction against us. As he did, in fact, in one of the chapters in the book, we dogged him into Channel 9, and he was exposed as a dole bludger. And he went to the courts over the weekend to try and get, because it was published Mike Munro on the Thursday, Friday, as a trailer that they're going to expose this dole bludger on the Monday, and he actually went to court over the weekend and tried to get an injunction. So he could have tried to get an injunction with us not to launch the book. But I commend it to you. I've got 10 here today. It's in all the bookstores. There's also a Kindle version you can download. But there's 10 here, and I'm happy to sign them for you. It's only $20. And of course, please, if there's any interest in getting involved in First Wave, the charity event around here, more than happy to talk to you about that. So that's probably all I've got to say, and I greatly appreciate the time. I've probably gone over my time, but I do thank you for that, and more than happy to stay back and have chats with people individually. Thank you very much indeed.